While people frequently react with horror at hearing about the practice of female genital mutilation, similar cries of alarm do not seem to be heard when the topic is male circumcision. Is this a double standard? The controversy surrounding male circumcision provides a backdrop to examine what may be our own cultural nearsightedness. Are the medical, religious, and social justifications, as described in the upcoming segment, more or less convincing than those offered for female genital mutilation? Decide for yourself as we explore the practice of male circumcision.
At the tender age of 1 day, Daryl Hill is prepared for surgery. The operation, in the course of a few minutes, makes him like most American males in one respect, and at the same time distinguishes him from most other boys and men around the world. Daryl Hill is being circumcised.
And with your scissors, you start removing the excess porcine and just slide it.
The hospital is producing an instructional video of Daryl's operation, citing a continuous demand for the procedure. Circumcision has been a part of Jewish tradition for thousands of years, but it's only in the last century that the practice caught on for health reasons. In the U.S., that practice has persisted long after most other developed countries have abandoned it. The intact penis is covered by a thin layer of skin that is cut back in circumcision, exposing the tip of the organ, called the glans. Many health experts say the alteration improves cleanliness and protects against disease. Dr. Edgar Schoen is chairman of the Circumcision Task Force of the American Academy of Pediatrics. In 1971, the organization found no valid medical reasons for the procedure, but some 20 years later takes a neutral position.
We see a lot of young babies that get irritation of the head of the penis, scarring.
Pediatrician Morris Sorrells quit doing circumcisions more than 20 years ago when he became convinced that the operation is an overreaction to the medical problems it's supposed to help prevent.
In other words, we've decided we want to do the procedure, now we find the reasons. Instead of saying, well, there's a problem, what's the best solution?
Circumcision friends and foes accuse each other of gross exaggerations. While advocates stress the ease of personal hygiene, opponents argue that intact boys and men can also easily keep clean. Proponents say circumcision may help protect against diseases, including urinary tract and foreskin infections, sexually transmitted diseases, and penile cancer. But there's little to prove these claims. And what's more, most of these diseases are minor or rare to begin with and can be successfully treated. Studies from Africa suggest circumcised men are less likely than others to contract AIDS. But that has not been the case in the U.S., where both circumcision and AIDS are well established. Circumcision opponents say the foreskin has purpose in protecting the sensitive glands and making intercourse both easier and more pleasurable. But those claims are also unproven, say circumcision advocates, who also dismiss the argument that many men feel emotionally distressed having been circumcised. There's no scientific evidence to back that one up either. But there is data proving what is obvious to most, that circumcision without anesthetic is very painful. Advocates say local pain control should be the standard of care, though many doctors still perform the procedure without it.
Okay, we'll get you something to eat now. Okay?
Surveys suggest most parents who choose circumcision do so for cultural rather than medical reasons, so son can look like dad and the other boys.
I don't think that's a valid reason for deciding this issue, but I think that in practicality, I think that's very important. I think the health reasons are the reasons that decide this issue.
The circumcision controversy, as is true of so many others, took root first in the hills of California and spread east from here.
Only now are we beginning to talk about what we're doing to babies behind closed doors.
Marilyn Milos, a former nurse, founded the organization No Circ more than 15 years ago to denounce what she sees as cruelty to children.
Nobody wants to hear this message. What man wants to hear the best part of his penis was cut off and thrown into the wastebasket in a violent act when he was too little to consent, resist, or escape?
Medical issues aside, circumcision is steeped in religious tradition. But neither the circumcision of Christ nor the Jewish law that ordained it impresses Leland Trayman, who is Jewish and sorry that he was circumcised.
I think if people have faith, they should practice the faith themselves. But to mutilate children, whether it's your own or somebody else's, because of your own set of beliefs, is wrong.
Few Americans regard infant boy circumcision as mutilation.
think it's cleaner. And like I said, I think it's just something you automatically do for boys.
Many are apparently persuaded by medical evidence that it is safe and, with proper pain control, humane.
Well, I think we counsel a parent the way on circumcision the way we do on anything else, that you try to present the facts to the parent and let them make up their mind on the basis of facts.
How do you intervene in that? How do you get to that mother and say, look, protect your baby. Your baby comes into you perfectly. The rest of the world doesn't do this. Nothing needs to be changed or corrected or made better. Your baby is just fine.
Dan Rutz, CNN, San Francisco.